by the right of the council, by the will of the force. Welcome back into another fucking sode of the Galaxy Famous.
That's staying in.
Halcyon approved. It's staying in. Jedi Talk Podcast. The fucking sode. You are following us at Jedi Talk on Instagram, YouTube.com/Jedi Talk, TikTok at Jedi Talk, and anywhere you see our ugly fucking mugs. That's us. Thank you for joining us into the madness. We are here to grace your ears with blood and guts. But joining me as always here on the regular council, directly across from me, through grades kindergarten to ninth, he was known as the Silent Pooter. And then again up until college, Evan T. Boucher. Evan, how the hell are you?
Adiga and good journey. Yeah, that
Jesus
nickname
Christ.
kind of stopped after college because college was like 7 years for me. So
It's the loudest music in the world.
because it's a great song.
It doesn't transfer
It's a
on
banger.
to...
It's so loud.
It's loud to you now, man.
But
If it's too loud, you're too fucking
we,
old.
before we get to the man that's
Turn it
complaining
down.
about music being too loud because he's getting old, we missed the big opportunity last week to make a joke because now we have another former cast member on the show. Former cast member.
True.
There's two.
There's two of us now.
on the
So.
show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, look at that. I'm in the minority there. And I'm going to keep it that way.
There's still time. You don't want to. Don't do it.
The man who is too old for the loud music, he dug a tunnel under a Pizza Hut to worship the flying spaghetti monster, Brad Hughes. Brad, how the hell are you today?
It's a timely tunnel joke.
Yes.
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing all right. How's your week been?
It's been okay. It's been very quiet. Holly's out of town. She's in New Jersey. Her aunt's not doing so hot, so she's up there hanging out with family, and I'm holding the fort down. And it's very lonely, especially in a
Yeah,
new.
I was gonna say you
in
got a
new
big house now, and
Yeah.
you're like looking around.
It's like I have thought I've heard someone come in like 6 times. I texted Tom today. I was
It's
like,
haunted.
I was like, I think I just heard someone at the door.
Ah, there you are.
That's me at night.
Yeah.
I hear every little, because like there's just new sounds, in a new place. Like the washer and dryer make different sounds, and like the click isn't what you're used to. Because we lived in the same up until that we lived in the same place for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
So like I was used to all of that, and now it's just different. So
How many times did y'all sneak down to each other's places and cuddle?
we did it a few times.
We didn't really have to sneak
few times.
because it was welcome.
I'd be like,
That's
hey, bro,
well.
come down. Empty bed. Let's go.
That's why we
was
had
nice.
that on the soundboard. It was, there you are.
Instead of a glory hole, you had a glory ceiling.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen my dick up the ceiling.
The problem was Evan never be able to reach.
Yeah.
That was a low hanging fruit joke.
Low hanging.
Low hanging. Unintended badness.
Goodness.
So
Good stuff.
on today's show, we're actually gonna bring back in fashion a top 10 list, and we're gonna get to that in a little bit. But it'll be our top 10 changes we would make to each Star Wars film, and the rule will be we can't repeat films. So if
Yeah.
number 10 is a change to A New Hope, Brad, we can't use A New Hope again.
So it's
Like
basically
Brad can't, but I could, right?
Yeah. Of
Right,
course. Yeah,
correct.
of course.
Correct.
Yeah, so like I'm actually doing mine in order, so it's going from Solo, then Rogue One, and then from 9 to 1.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Nice,
mine are in no
nice.
particular order of like importance. Or
Okay.
anything, but I'm just
Mine
gonna
will
do it
be.
that way. Okay.
Yeah. Mine-
I made my initial list and then threw it away because it would just add Galaxy's Edge to every movie. So then I threw that away, and then I had to make a new one. And then it was add the Galactic Star Cruiser to every movie. So I had to throw that one away. So now on my third draft, I have a decent list, I think.
okay.
But I missed
At
the
least
top
you
10.
realized it.
This
Yes.
is a great list to do. This is fun
Yeah,
to
it's
think
fun.
about.
This is a fun one. Yeah.
Because
Sometimes
each thing kind
we'll
of
give-
impacts the next movie. Every little change impacts
If you go that
everything.
way, there's
Yeah.
domino effect, the butterfly effect, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But like sometimes I love it though. We'll throw this idea out and we'll have like a week to think of our top 10, or sometimes it's like today where it was like 3 or 4 hours to come up with it. And I like that
Some
though.
of us are still actively doing their list, but that's
Right?
okay.
Even if we have a week, some of us are like, "Ugh,
You know,
last second.
I have
what do
enough.
we do?"
It's in my head enough. I just got to get it.
yeah,
organized.
but
Yeah.
Evan's got to start today's show. He teased everybody.
Yes.
He did call himself a former cast member.
Yes.
And he
Yes.
teased just troubling situations, we'll call them. So
Yes.
Evan, take
So
it away.
The top
This
10 is
all Evan, by
returning
the way.
today. The returning segment of the
Don't want
top
anything
10.
to do with this.
But there's a new segment. I still don't have a name. I'm not smart enough for it. But it's just ridiculous guest stories. So one of the things I did was a character attendant I said last week. So I'm with the characters all the time through the good and bad. So one time, this actually happened twice somehow. One time I'm with Mickey, mom, little kid comes in, cute kid. Kid has one of those pacifiers, and the mom yanks the pacifier out of the kid's mouth and like shoves it into my face and like, here, take this. And I'm like, at this point, it's in my hand, so it's like I can't just like drop it. I guess I should have. I don't know. And I'm just like, what is happening? And the mom is like, oh my gosh, Mickey, she just quit using her pacifier, her binky. She wanted you to be the first to know. She came to tell you. And then she goes, here, have Mickey's friend hand it to Mickey. So I'm like, okay, you should have just handed it to Mickey yourself. Well, you shouldn't have. But if you're going to give it to Mickey, give it to him yourself. Don't shove it to me and then have me give it to Mickey. So then I give it to Mickey. Hey. Mickey's looking at me like, what is happening? PhotoPass is looking at me like, what is happening? So then they take the picture with it. And then, like, I'm still kind of stunned. PhotoPass is slightly less stunned, so they take it from Mickey. The kid's cute. Like, I'm not blaming the kid. I'm blaming the mom. The mom and the kid take the pictures. They say bye to Mickey. And, like, the PhotoPass is still holding the pacifier. And then, like, the mom, as she scans, well, she doesn't, because I always forget to scan the Magic Band. So we like, hey, scan your Magic Band for the pictures. As that's happening, the mom takes the pacifier back and then gives it back to the kid. And they leave. So me and Mickey and PhotoPass are just looking at each other like, what the hell just happened?
People are so weird.
Pacifier manipulation for clout is what you witnessed.
And apparently that's a thing, because it happened again months later for different family. Months and months later, it happened again. So I'm like, I guess this is a thing. I guess this is what people do now. I was so flabbergasted.
Anyone who can do anything to get a pat on the back, a look at me, or a "aw," will do it. They'll say it, they'll do whatever it takes, and it's embarrassing, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
Grow the fuck up. No one cares what you have to think. No one cares about your stupid Instagram post. No one cares what you post on Facebook. No one cares what you have to say. You're not that interesting. And that goes for us, too. We don't comment on everything. We comment on Star Wars stuff because we're a Star Wars podcast.
Mm-hmm.
There's a million things that I'm passionate about that I could go on and use Jedi Talk and talk about. No one cares what you have to say.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Well, Chunky Lover
No one
22
cares.
told me they did, so they cared.
Yeah.
Well, I care too.
We immediately washed our hands after that because we were just so
Right.
confused and
Like,
also
what-
grimy and dirty. So
what
these
COVID
resort
strain
fatties,
did you just get?
resort fatties, man. I don't understand, but
Fuck, I got COVID 48.
yeah.
Go with 48.
But I don't know. That's and that's not even the wildest and weirdest thing. So these stories are gonna get weird as we go.
They will get weird.
They will.
I have a question for y'all's list. Did you do like things that were story based, or did you do things that were like,
both.
I don't like this scene, I'd rather it do like, or did you go like, this is a broad thing, like remove the, digital effects from the special edition? Did you do that kind of stuff, or did you do story stuff?
A little mixed.
Okay.
I did more of like enhancing things.
Okay.
In a way, it's almost like another special edition almost.
Gotcha.
I tweaked a few scenes, but like aside from that, it was like add this, add stuff.
That clip I sent you guys today of Adam Driver, how much was that Kylo Ren in that scene? Like, because usually he's such a good actor that like normally like when you watch him, you're like, oh, it's just Adam. It's not, it's him doing whatever. Or like not it's Adam. He's the character.
Yeah.
But that scene was like very Kylo Ren to me.
He was probably channeling it.
The marriage story scene, the famous wall punch.
Oh.
That's Kylo. I see that. I'm like, that's Kylo.
See, that's more like, I feel like Kylo would have broke the wall down. I feel like that's me.
Well, yeah. But like,
That's me getting angry, punching a wall. I love that movie.
Like I said,
I hate that movie.
We have all seasons of
I watched
Girls
it
on
once.
DVD because it's us. But I didn't get that far into the show. I didn't know Jillian Jacobs was in Girls, so I saw that and I was like, what movie is this? I need to see it.
Got a crush on her or something?
No, I just love watching all the Community people.
Oh,
So
okay.
Anything they're in, I'm like, what are
He
you
dug
in?
himself
I'm
out of
missing
that
it.
hole very well.
I was sitting there going, how the fuck does this guy know who she is? Because I don't know who she is.
Yeah,
Not
no.
that I know more than you, but like
You do about movies. Like we've had lists about actors, and I'm like,
that's my point. You don't know any actor at
no,
all.
I just know
So-
the 5 things I watch:
Okay.
Star Wars,
I wondered how
Community.
you
Like,
knew her.
I know the things I know.
I
and
should
that's
just
it.
assume it's Community or like
Star Wars
or Parks and Rec.
regular show, Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's funny.
But I mean, hey, it helps when we get those crossovers. When Childish Gambino comes from Community into Star Wars, that helps. It's like, oh, I already know that guy. Cool.
Yeah,
But when it's these new actors, I'm like, who is that? I don't know who that is.
we got this promise that his series was coming again, like
Yeah.
the news, and then it's kind of fades out a little bit.
I know that news dropped in like 2018.
Oh yeah, that like the first bit. I remember a good while.
It was at a
ago.
D23, I think, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was
I don't know.
18.
Or Celebration, maybe.
I think it was Celebration.
I was. I would. Oh,
I think it was
that-
19.
Okay, well, I was there.
Yeah,
that was-
right.
that was
It
Chicago.
doesn't matter where.
Yeah.
Weird.
But I think
That's
it was
weird to think
19,
that was.
Well, him and
2019.
his last we heard, him and his brother are writing it, so it's gonna be.
That's
good.
right.
I'm down for that. He's such
Heck
a
yeah.
talented guy, and I think that's one of the best casting decisions they've made. Period. He is so Lando.
Yeah, it's good.
He's
Yeah.
so good in that role, and
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like he's doing an impression. It feels like Lando.
Mhm.
That was my concern a little bit because it was almost too on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember even before when they were casting. You can go back and listen to these old episodes. I was speculating who they would cast.
Sure. Yeah.
I remember saying Donald Glover would be an amazing. would be an amazing.
He's
Lando.
just amazing at anything.
He's awesome.
He's ridiculously talented.
Because he's talented, he's funny, which you need for Lando. Because Billy D. Williams is funny. Like some of the stuff he says in Empire Strikes Back specifically is like there's funny moments. When he's getting choked by Chewie, like that's a funny moment.
And his reactions to
Yeah.
Vader too, when
Yeah.
Vader screws him over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gets him every time, or this deal keeps getting worse all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
Like those are all funny things. So you have to have somebody who's funny, but you have to have someone who's talented enough to not do a Billy D. Williams impression.
I love that robot chicken bit. Like, pray I don't alter the deal any further. He keeps altering it. He comes back down the elevator.
My favorite robot chicken bit is the Palpatine on the escalator. You know that
oh my
one?
gosh, yes.
I think I do.
Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Stormtrooper.
Fuck off.
Don't I have
Shut
some-
up.
Like Emperor. Emperor.
is an aluminum falcon.
It's pretty good.
I got one more.
Now get your 7'2" asthmatic ass back here, or I'm going to tell everyone what a whiny bitch you were about Patamame or Panda Bear or whatever the hell her name is.
Every fucking time the Patamame or
Panda
Panda
Bear.
Bear. Where the hell?
Did you guys see that Mark Hamill
No.
finally met I
Oh,
had a stroke
Yeah,
for
and he
his
just
name.
straight
Natalie
up said,
Portman?
like, called her mom.
Yeah.
Hey, man, the Natalie Portman. Brady, okay? Jelly beans.
Anyone else smell toast? I think
The
I had
suspense
a
was
stroke.
killing me. He's like, did you see that Mark Hamill?
I didn't even say Mark Hamill. Did you see that? I said,
Oh, that's
did
what it
you
was.
see that?
Yes, he finally met his movie mother.
The suspense
Brad
was
died.
killing me. Yes.
Yeah, that was cool. I was like, you think that like these people all know each other, but I guess they never would have met. He was never in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
it's
was
true.
never in the prequels, and
Or even if they're,
wouldn't you
like-
assume he was like on set at some point though? Maybe he just didn't care because he's not involved.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's one of those people that cares because he was on set for
Unless he just
Mando.
cared so much. He's like, when that baby is named Luke, I need to be there to make sure that it accepts the name the way I would accept the name Luke. Like,
He had some dumb takes though about the sequels.
yeah.
Did you hear
Mark
the,
Hamill? Oh,
the
yeah, I know.
story he made up about like why he was a hermit?
Yeah. He's like, this is me playing a different character. I'm not playing Luke.
it's
I was like, come on, dude.
all the sequel deniers out there in the wild.
It gave them
Every
fire.
time this video comes up, like they share and they're like
Yeah.
feeling themselves.
Mark
like,
Hamill
look at
doesn't
Mark
even like
Hamill
it.
said
Mark
it.
Hamill's not a writer or a director.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
an actor. He's a great actor and he's a phenomenal voice actor. But that just because you acted a movie doesn't mean you know how to structure a film.
Right.
I'm sorry, it
Yep.
doesn't. They are two very different skill sets. In the same way that Ryan Johnson is a great director, that doesn't mean he'd be a good actor. So
Right.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those skills aren't transferable. They're just not.
And another thing that we talk about all the time.
Because if they were, every actor would just direct, and that's like the cliche that actors want to direct.
Same with
right?
athletes too. Like,
Exactly.
It doesn't
Because
work
you're a good
the
athlete
same.
doesn't mean you're going to be a
Or
good
if you're a
coach.
great coach, doesn't mean you're a great athlete.
exactly.
Most great coaches were not good athletes.
My
It's
heart
weird.
broke this week with Nick Saban retiring.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I cried. I'm not. I know. I'm
You mean
not
you
like,
roll cried?
I roll cried. That's hilarious. I roll cried. I haven't watched any of this. Jesus
Evan.
fucking Christ!
I didn't mean your joke to go that hard.
My joke
Right.
was not that funny.
I haven't watched a lot lately, just because I've been usually my Saturdays are with the kids because I don't get to see them as much as I'd like, and so Saturdays I'm not sitting at home watching football. But like I thought it was the first 8A game that he was at, but it was actually his second year, and I like love that dude because I've been an Alabama fan my entire life. I am not a bandwagon fan. I have pictures of me as like a 4-year-old in an Alabama costume for Halloween. I stuck through them through the Mike DeBosch
Was it
years.
from your dad
My
liking
dad,
it?
yeah.
Or okay, yeah.
Yeah,
that's,
my dad.
That's how it always goes.
My dad was from Alabama, and he got into it because his dad loved Alabama because I believe he grew up in Alabama like back in like the early 1900s, and so they've just been there forever and ever and ever.
Okay.
It's just a
Very
family
cool.
thing. So I cried, man. I got emotional. They've already replaced him, and it was rumors for a minute. And you know Kevin C's Lagoon. He's an Alabama fan too, so we talked about it for a little bit. But it was heartbreaking, man. That was a rough one. That was because it's like he was there for 17 years, 16 years, something like that.
It feels
very
longer.
long time.
I would have said like 30.
It's
Yeah,
a legacy.
whenever he failed
I
in
know.
Miami.
See, I know it wasn't. Yeah, I knew it wasn't that long because I remember going right out of high school to go see their playoff.
Right.
It's called an 8A game. It's a practice game. They play themselves, and it was the hype around him. Like, holy
You
shit,
played
this is
yourself.
real. Because we sucked for so long. Alabama sucked for decades. Like in the 80s, they won one championship in like 92. And then after that, until Nick Saban got there in like 2007, it was dry. We didn't even get. We were ineligible for bowl games.
Isn't Belichick retiring too?
No, Belichick just parted ways with the Patriots.
Oh, he did. I
He
thought he
met with
retired.
Atlanta, and there's speculation.
Oakland.
Wow.
No, Oakland or they're not in Oakland anymore.
Or the no
They're in Vegas.
Not the who was the other team in California? There's the Rams.
San Francisco 49ers, Los Angeles Rams, LA Chargers. You're thinking about the
Dang, how
Chargers.
many
I'm in
teams
the
they got
Chargers,
in
yeah.
Cali? Is that why one of them left to go to
No,
Vegas?
they just Oakland. I don't know. Oakland was a good fan base. Just the city treated them like crap. I think.
So it's also just like
Dang.
Oakland.
Yeah.
The cause is everywhere. The resistance is cracking.
Welcome to the cause.
Seek freedom through the fulcrum. Join the cause.
All right, let's kick off this top 10 changes to movies we cannot use a
Well,
repeat.
before we do, I actually did reach out to Kathleen Kennedy to see what her list would be, and all 10 of her entries were the exact same.
I don't believe
Put
it.
a tick in it, make her gay.
That was her entire list. So
Wow.
I guess we
That's
can't
brave
use those
and innovative.
responses.
It's brave and innovative. She's very brave
So-
for that.
Yes. So that I don't know if we can top that list, but we're gonna
pretty-
try.
I don't think we can.
It's effective.
Yes.
Just look how great Marvel's doing.
I've got an honorable mention. Who wants to take the first honorable mention?
I do. Who has the most? That's usually how we do. Who has
Well,
the most?
I don't know.
We all can only have one. You either have one or none. Because
Oh yeah,
we did
because it's
11.
duh,
Yeah.
duh, duh, duh.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I guess that's true.
You know what? We'll let Evan start, and then we'll just we'll rotate
Okay.
this one.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
So
plan.
the 10, not counting the Clone Wars film, the 10 or the 11 Star Wars films we're gonna talk about. So I'm gonna have to pick one of them to be my honorable mention. I'm gonna go with the obvious easy one here is Rogue One. Just get rid of the Borg gullet. So stupid. Nobody likes it.
I like
Doesn't
it.
even add to the story. Like,
Sure it does.
Saw is sketchy.
Yep.
We know he is. We don't need to show him using a squid.
Yeah, but they don't have the Force, so he's trying a way to like.
Why
Read
not
his
just
mind.
Wreck
torture
his
him like
mind.
normal, waterboarding or something? Like,
This is the Star Wars galaxy, and they're the partisans. They're not that mean. They're just a little
I
mean.
don't know.
I
They'll
mean,
do
they
anything
bomb
for that
things.
cause. I don't know. I don't know though. I feel like it was just
I
unnecessary.
understand what you're saying. I feel the same way about the Raftars, but that's not mine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What's your honorable mention?
My honorable mention
I get
is,
it though.
is
get it,
I
Evan.
totally get it. Is
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
so I also want to preface that this is that mine are not in any particular order. It just so happens that my number one is from the Phantom Menace, and it's the one I'm the most passionate about. But spoiler alert. But so they're not in any particular order, just from movies. So I picked Solo for my honorable mention because I don't like the movie as much as I like Rogue One. I don't know. Maybe I'd have to think about that.
You've flipped a little on
Solo,
Rogue One.
have,
you
I
really
flipped,
have.
I flipped a lot on Rogue One.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I don't want to play it off.
Solo was
No,
the
I
hardest
definitely-
one for me to think of something to do because I love it.
Oh, not
Like
me.
I think it's pretty not perfect because it's not the best movie, but I think it's like
I know
unchangeable.
why he likes Solo.
Wow, I like
That's
Solo.
not even why because the two Black Spy or Batu
see?
references. No, like
Oh.
that's
He
not
proved me
even
right.
why.
He proved me right.
That's not
just by
even why.
mentioning it.
It's just so.
I
much
was
fun.
talking
Like,
about you liked what's or nuts.
Emily Clark, whatever
Yeah.
her name is.
Kira.
Kira.
Kira's cool.
Kira is a fucking piece. My number 11, hit the button. My number 11 is from Solo, and it's don't have Tobias be the guy who double crosses Han. It is such a stupid trope.
Yeah.
That annoys the shit out of me. It's
Yeah.
so predictable.
It was
It
very-
was so.
I'm
it was
with
so
you.
predictable that when I was in the movie theater for the first time, I was like, "God, please don't be him." And then it was him, and I was like, "That's so corny."
I'm with you.
Remember, kid,
I still
don't
like it.
trust
But
anyone.
who should it be?
Remember this moment in about 45 minutes. Don't trust anyone. Yes. And it's just such a fucking hacky thing. Lawrence Kasdan is a much better writer than that, and that's one of the reasons why it pisses me off so much, is because he's a phenomenal writer, and to lean on that stupid ass trope and to think it's smart is the dumbest part. Like the movie literally gives you time to go like, what? Because the way he walks in the elevator, the turbo lift, the way he walks in the turbo lift, you're just like,
Yes.
everyone's
Yeah.
like, It was like no one was like,
No, I know.
It was so
Yeah.
cliche and,
And
so hacky.
they kind
and
of
so
made it seem
fucking
like
boring.
that was the whole point of the movie, to have a twist, and it's like that's not even the point of this movie.
Who
To have a
cares?
twist ending. Just you don't
didn't-
need a twist
he
ending.
didn't even have to do that. They
Yeah.
could have just. It would have made more sense if Kira. Am I saying her name right?
Yeah.
Kira. Is
Yep.
it Kira?
Kira. Yeah.
Okay, I feel like I'm saying it wrong for some reason.
Oh, Kyle called your ass out for saying, I think it was on one of the Fourth Mother Bucks, Qui-Gon. Did you hear that?
Did I say Qui-Gon?
Like Qui-Gon.
It's Qui-Gon Jinn.
Gwai, like you pronounce the Q as a G.
Yeah.
Like Gwai.
It's
Yeah.
Qui-Gon.
It's Kwai. Like
no one
quiet.
says
Well,
Qui.
Well,
Quiet.
Kyle,
Yeah, it's
Kyle
like
is,
quiet.
is ripping on you.
Kyle
Qui.
can't even
Master's
ride-
degree is
Kyle's not
ripping
even
on you.
tall enough
Qui-Gon.
to ride Space Mountain. You think I give a fuck what he thinks?
It's true.
It could be worse. You could be the idiots I've seen on the internet and heard because they say it. They say Qui-Gon.
Okay, I know it.
Qui-Gon.
I've
Qui-Gon.
always just said Qui-Gon. Is it not Qui-Gon
Qui.
Jinn?
No.
It's Qui-Gon.
I've always
It's a
said.
Q.
I've always. So if I'm wrong, I'm not changing.
But then
I'm just gonna
again,
double down because
Leia,
that's just,
Leah. You know, like
because that's just how I've said it my
Han,
entire
Han, Han,
life.
Leia, Leah.
Qui-Gon
Luke.
Jinn. I'm trying now. I feel like I'm.
Luke
I feel like
and-
I'm not saying it the way I say it.
Tom.
Ask me who
and
my
Tom.
favorite Jedi is.
Who's your favorite Jedi, Brad?
Qui-Gon Jinn.
All right. I know who you're talking about. That's all I
Qui-Gon
care
Jinn?
about.
Yeah, I feel like that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you, Kyle.
Thank you, yeah.
Anyway,
Kyle's a piece of shit.
So, my honorable mention is Rogue One. What I would want to change in Rogue One is I want to see more of a Saw Gerrera and the Jedi connection. Explore that more. Yeah, he's on Jeddah for God's sake when they blow the city up.
I've always thought that was
It's
interesting.
like-
They didn't address why.
You know, there's what's his
maybe
nuts?
we'll get it in Andor. Maybe
Sure.
We'll get to see why he goes to Jeddah.
Oh, I would. God, give it to
God
me. in
damn
Andor.
it, that'd be
Survivor
amazing.
would have been a good place to see it, but we didn't.
Like I actually was there. Thought in my brain, this is my head canon for that, was that he was there trying to mine some found Kyber things to fuel his own weapon,
Yeah, sure.
power his own weapon.
I would
Well,
love
no,
it.
I think
wasn't he trying to? He was trying to
yeah,
steal
we know why.
one.
The
in,
Empire was taking it, and he
yeah.
was trying to stop the Empire.
Yeah, he was
from
trying to stop
taking
the
that
Empire.
shipment.
But not because he had his own weapon, right? Because he just wanted to stop them from.
We don't
doing
know.
it.
What
So
was
that,
the-
that was my take on it. Was like that would be the cool reason why he was there.
He was just trying to keep the Empire
What's-
from getting it.
What's the Rebels episode? Doesn't Sauce? Is that the one we're talking about, where he stops the Empire from the big crystal, or did they get away with it?
No, he stops them.
He
They
does stop
blow
them?
up
Okay.
the crystal, and the crystal blows up some ships and
That's
stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's what he's trying to do in Rogue One. Is,
Right.
Is they stop? They kind of screw up the fight with Cassian and the Empire because they come in. So yeah.
That's right.
But it'd be cool to see maybe in Andor season 2, like we see him go to Jeddah.
Yeah.
We know he's leaving
For sure.
to go.
Have I
there.
said on the show that I'm committing to rewatch Andor?
No,
No.
I'm committing to rewatch
That's a
all of
bold
Andor.
he said
Wow.
it. Oh, there we go.
I want to do it because I it's one of those things where it's like it has to be me. There has to be
Nah.
something that I.
No,
that,
it is. It is you, Steven.
No, it's
That's
not.
fair. So many people that I respect their opinion on love it so much, and I really think that I was watching it and expecting a moment from like Mando season 2 the entire time, and it's not that. And I think I need to go back in with those expectations of going like just enjoy.
I can't
what's
wait to
going on.
rewatch it. Like I'm thinking about how dark and like gritty it gets at times. I fucking love it.
I would love for us to do commentary.
It'll
That's
just
what
be
we
us
should do.
fighting
Those
each other. the whole
commentary
time.
episodes
It'd be me versus you
do
two.
very well for the show.
Whenever you have something to say, just wake me up because I'll be sleeping. Be like, hey, Evan. Oh yeah,
Evan,
that
I'm
one
gonna
thing.
punch you in your fucking nuts.
Oh, that'll wake me up
Yeah.
because I'll be
I just-
sleeping.
No,
I just
Walt,
feel-
you don't
I
have
feel-
any.
I feel like I can't shit on it, and I felt this way about Rogue One too. After I rewatched it, I am the guy who's always been preaching, "Give The Last Jedi another chance if you didn't like it the first time."
Well,
right?
he's canon.
So I cannot now shit on something and say I don't like something without giving it a fair chance. When it's my own measure of giving something a fair chance is watching it at least one more time.
I don't think for me a rewatch is going to make it better. I think season 2 is going to make it better because that, like I keep saying, they did that with Bad Batch. I still haven't
Yeah.
gone back to watch season 1 of Bad Batch after seeing how good season 2 was, but I think the same effect's going to happen. And/or season 2 is going to be good, and I'm going to be like, wow, now I like the show.
It's actually
now
why
it's good.
when we were doing reviews up until Ahsoka, because it was just hard to do it twice in the same day. Was I always watch episodes at least twice,
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
because then you can kind of like you can catch your breath. We would just loop it. I just
Yeah.
end it and just start it over again.
Yep.
So I want to do that. I want to give Andor a fair shake.
Okay.
I feel like a fucking hypocrite, and I don't like
Okay.
that feeling.
That's fair. Evan, what's your number 10? Let's crack right
Number
into this.
10.
Bad boy.
The obvious one here, which doesn't really count, but make Solo 2 happen. That's my thing with Solo. Just make Solo 2 happen.
Yeah.
But aside from that, the actual movie itself, instead of just by chance they're on the same planet that Lando is when they need to go meet Lando, Thought that was a little weird and convenient. How cool would it be if he was causing some trouble on Chandrilla? So we finally get to see Chandrilla, so it connects that, and it gives a more logical place to find Lando.
But wouldn't them having issue on Chandrilla also just be very convenient?
For Evan, yeah.
No, because it's just lucky that he's 10 feet away when they need a ship and a pilot.
Oh, you mean like they're literally...
Yeah, they're like,
okay.
oh, I know a guy. He's right here. It's like, well,
Yeah.
what are the odds he'd be in the exact same place at the exact same
I
time
haven't
as you
watched
are?
Solo in so long. I need to rewatch that. I need to
We
rewatch
watched
everything.
Solo and Solo.
I haven't. It's been so long since I've watched Solo.
But it could be the same thing where they like, oh, last I heard he was going to Chandrilla. So then chase him on Chandrilla.
I know. That was for me.
But yeah, that's it.
I like that one. My number 10 is for Rogue One. Rogue One.
Rogue Runner.
I've had 2 strokes this episode.
the Burger King jelly bean sandwich over here.
Yes. It's okay.
Call me Joe Biden.
That's not controversial, people. Just watch him talk.
He can't speak.
Yeah, it's bad.
My
I'm
favorite
concerned
one is,
for this man.
My favorite one is you can describe America in one word. It's a real clip.
He didn't mention
I
that
thought
he
it
was
was fake.
He didn't mention that he was making up the word that you can describe America
It's a
in.
real sentence.
No, it's not. That's not a real sentence. It's not a sentence.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
That was the real statement.
Yep.
It's hilarious. My number 10 for Rogue One is Don't Kill Krennic. It would be
yeah.
way more interesting to see the ramifications.
What if he ends up helping the First Order or something?
It opens up a lot, because then you see like, holy shit, this actually is kind of bad. I don't think he would have changed, but even if he didn't change, him doubling down, like if he was able to, did you find it?
I searched him. Like, I searched some videos, and then like the 2 of them, I didn't even search for him falling down, but the first 2 were like him falling on Air Force One.
To be fair, the thing
It's
I'm
so
saying
bad.
might be a fake clip. I've only seen it in like I've only seen it in meme form.
We cheer for Muslim athletes like Kareem and Joan Shingang Shipmans were passed away.
What?
Have you heard the Call of Duty calls between him,
This
their
is the
AI,
president of the United States. Man. Come on, guys.
their AI, and it's
It was bad when Bush did it too.
It's bad when anyone.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. This my whole thing about this should not be political at all.
No, I know.
Someone not being able to walk
should
and
be-
talk.
This is somebody's
You
grandfather.
can't get
for God's
hired
sake.
at Walmart to be a greeter when you're this age, but you can run the fucking country. It makes no sense.
I know.
It makes
I
no
know.
sense.
It should be age limits. Yeah,
Man.
You should be not older than 65, and that's even pushing.
I'm with
it.
you. Retirement age.
That's
Yeah.
even, that's pushing.
It is. I don't know how we got here. All right.
I don't either. But I think it would be very interesting if the failure of the Death Star 1 with Krennic is why the Death Star 2 happens, and he is like put on that assignment.
It would have been great too to see him interact with Thrawn, because Thrawn hated the Death Star.
Yep.
So to see them fight each other, because he
would've
fights
been so
everybody.
much more interesting.
Krennic fights Tarkin. He fights Vader. He doesn't like anybody. So
He could've
imagine
gotten away.
Thrawn going at him would have been crazy.
Wouldn't that have been way more interesting? But I understand that like then there's like a hole in canon because you never see him in the original trilogy.
And there is
but
that
who
empty
cares?
chair in A New Hope.
I know,
that they
but-
retcon, which is cool. I like that retcon.
I like it too, but
Yeah.
like I just wish he was still around because he is
I get
by
it.
far the
He's-
best part of Rogue
he's a
One.
great character.
Yeah, 100%.
You could make that argument. Yeah.
Phenomenal character. One of the best additions to Disney Star Wars canon. In my opinion.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see him in Andor season 2.
I know.
Yeah.
My number 10 in the Phantom Menace. I just add some seriousness to the Gungan Clanker battle on Naboo.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
It's like there's just too comedic.
feels like
It's
a
this
fucking cartoon.
This should be a little bit more serious. This is
Yeah.
huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the first battle of this war, so to speak. You know, so just add some serious to it. There's this, and I don't hate. I'm not in the camp that hates Jar Jar. Like I don't want him out of the films, but like, can we pan away and just see some consequences here? Like,
I mean, even in the Ewok battle, we see that
Yes.
Ewok die in front of
Yes.
us.
Awful.
And the other Ewok,
Yeah.
like...
it just makes it so much more important.
wrecked
Yeah,
me as a
yeah.
kid.
Just do that.
It feels like stakes because you're like these cute little things that are dying. You're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
this is real.
Yeah.
Yep.
George Lucas, just copy yourself and do that.
I
Like, it's
never
right
thought
there.
of. I never thought of that. That's
Yeah.
a great call.
Me
'cause
neither.
The whole time you're watching, it's like a Roger Rabbit cartoon.
Right.
Especially because, like, Jar Jar...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Jar
Where's the
Jar
Bumba
is...
Ja Bumba?
Yeah, take it to Booba.
Juggling it and shit.
Yeah.
And it,
Jar Jar is the klutz. You shouldn't make that entire race of
Right.
Gun-Guns
Right.
klutzes. Like, that
Yeah.
doesn't
Especially
make sense.
since we've seen a fucking Gungan Nile
It would have been cool.
Yeah.
to see,
The
like
fucking
a
High
Gungan
Republic, like,
sniper.
shit.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, there you go.
Evan, what's your number 9?
Taking up
Number
voice.
9. There probably is going to be crossover on this one, so I have a second one. So the obvious one for episode 9 is how I'm doing this here: 9, 8, 7, all the way down to 1. Obvious one for number 9, episode 9, is have Ben Solo be a Force ghost.
Oh,
It's
I didn't
right
put that
there.
in there.
I didn't.
How did you not do that?
Didn't
It's
either.
I
right
did not.
there.
All right, there you go.
Either.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
I didn't
It's
put that
yours.
in there. It's yours.
Okay, cool. But it's obvious, guys. What are you doing?
All right, I'm going
I'm
to do
with you.
my episode 9 now.
Not you guys, but like you made the movie, guys. Come on.
On the complete opposite end of that spectrum. For my Rise Skywalker, don't make Tyler... Why the fuck can't I talk today?
Seriously. Somebody
Don't
get an
make-
ambulance here.
I've been talking all day, to be fair. I'm tired of talking. Don't make Kylo Ren turn good. I hated that decision. I hated it.
See,
Was it cool to see Ben Solo?
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Yeah,
it
we
be
got a
way more
sick
gangster if
lightsaber
he was
out of
like, fuck you, and just tripled down and like maybe even teamed up with the Emperor or something? I would much prefer that.
Yeah. I see. I didn't put that because I didn't go the route of like changing the entire canon.
I want
but
the canon
I like
changed.
that. I like that
want
better.
him
But,
because
yeah.
then like the whole thing is, which I do enjoy about Star Wars, is that the movies kind of mimic each other, but this is too on the fucking nose.
Yeah.
He turns good because of the kid from the desert planet. It turns him good. That happened
The
to be
power
Luke
of
and
boners.
shit. It just
Oh, see, I thought you were talking about the sequels.
The power
But you
of the
weren't.
P?
You were talking about the originals.
yeah, and so that's what happened to Vader, and it just happened to him, and it's just it would have been cool if he just had not had that good. There's no indication that he's good. I mean, there are some moments in The Last Jedi where he like doesn't kill his mom, but I don't think not killing your mother when you just killed your father is a step in the right direction.
Especially
Like, you're
because that
still
was
a
what,
piece
like
of shit.
a
Yeah,
day
right.
after he killed
exactly.
Han. Like it's like
you
a day
just
after.
killed your father, and then you're like, I guess I won't kill my mom right now.
Yeah, right now.
I'll
Let's
let
save
someone
that
else
for
do
later.
it, and then not give a shit. You know what I mean? Like he's
That would've
not
been cool.
good. I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm
that-
this
To
strong
see a scene
force
of him
being. I'm not going
reflecting.
to stop that missile that I saw coming.
right, exactly. That would have. See, if he'd have done that,
Yeah.
then you're like, okay, there's
That
some
would've been
good in
sick.
it, but like, and it would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah. That
would've been-
But he didn't give a shit that his mom was out there. He didn't care. Like, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's what they're saying is like the start of his redemption, and I agree in the context of the film. But if you look at everything else, like he's not good. He's not good in that movie at all. He fucking beheads the guy. Like
Julio.
Like,
Oh, he does.
He's ruthless, dude.
Beats the shit out of the other guy, Mark Hamill.
Now I
voice.
can only
Yeah.
hear Skips as Bulio. That's all I can hear now.
I just wish he hadn't have turned good. It would have been so gangster if he was just like
That's a
the
good one.
ultimate.
Yeah.
And,
I'm with
and
you.
went full Sith, dude. If he
Yeah.
had gone full fucking
And
Sith with the
does-
yellow eyes
does-
and shit,
Does he survive episode 9?
I don't care either way. But
Okay.
full Kylo Ren Sith
I would
eyes,
have wanted
dude.
him to. Because we have, what,
Let's
30
fucking
years
go.
of Vader? We only have like 3 years of Kylo.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks that he doesn't
I'm
run
cool with
the
him
galaxy.
surviving
like-
either way.
yeah.
I think it adds more to the universe, but I guess there's no
Yeah.
real resolution then. I guess the resolution is that the Emperor's gone for good this time, but that's
Yeah.
not brought up until fucking the last minute of the movie anyway. So who gives a shit?
Right.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I'm done.
My number
Sith
9 is
Kylo
Solo.
would've been dope.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
a good one. Is Solo, and real quick with Solo, I would love to have seen a little bit more. And I know they might be doing this in the comics, but I want to see it in the movie because it just feels like Kira just kind of ended up in power.
Yeah.
Well, show us
By
a little bit
default.
how.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I want to know how. Let's build to that.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Kira should be a Disney Plus series.
That-
If anything, should be
100%.
that
100%. There's so much to tell there.
Yeah.
But no, let's get another fucking Book of Boba Fett going. Who gives a shit about that show? I fucking
Well,
hate that
I
show.
give a shit about Evan's 8. What's
You
your
do.
8?
My number 8 for
T-Boo
episode
8.
8 is... Okay, well. Now
Dead
I gotta
air.
pick, because I had 2. I gotta pick. The obvious one,
Hurry
like
up,
I
Evan.
joked at, was like me putting Galaxy's Edge and everything. So this is adjacent to that. Instead of Rose, have it be Vi. Vi goes with Finn. They go do... It can still even be Canto Bight. Whatever. Have Vi go.
I mean, why not? Yeah.
And at this point, we don't know she's Leia's second. So she's going with Finn to, like, check, make sure he's not doing something shady for Leia. And then we can find out after, like, I went with you to make sure you're on the up and up because I'm Leia's best spy.
I like
I
badass
love that
about-
idea.
like-
but I also like the idea that Vi is a character you get to interact with for the first time
Yeah.
in Galaxy's Edge.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But I understand why you'd want it because it makes it more cohesive, and I totally get it.
Yeah.
But I like interacting.
Should have
with
just
Vi.
sent Vi Marathi with the group in episode 9.
Yeah.
Like somehow introduce
Who
her.
would she
like-
end up with though? Because they kind of split off. Rey goes to do her own thing. You know,
I don't know. But she could have all gone with them to find Ochi.
I think it'd be more interesting if she was sitting around
Persona.
with Poe.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
during the mutiny and stuff, and like
Yeah.
talking to Leia. Well, Leia's
So,
gone,
I mean,
so.
seeing her on that planet at the end.
Well, she supposedly
That
is on
Agent
Crate.
Kloss?
She's not in. You can't see her in the movie, but she
Oh,
is
she
there
is?
on Crate supposedly.
During the Battle of Crate?
Yeah.
Is there any character that looks like her in the background that we
No.
can kind of retcon as
I
like, what
wish.
they
Oh,
did
just
in
like Mace Windu?
Yeah.
Put a wig
Dude,
on
that
Finn.
is the weirdest shit. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That guy
It's
looks.
nuts.
He's just.
It looked
He's
like-
a bald guy. That's the only like similarity. Like,
No,
It's just
and
a
he's
bald
black.
guy.
well, yeah, but
that's
like,
that's
he looks
pretty bad.
nothing like Samuel Jackson.
Even
No.
as a
Like,
kid, bro, I remember going, "Who the fuck's that guy?"
I know. Like, who the hell is this?
they should have just said it's a different Jedi and
know.
be like,
Shaggy.
Yeah, I know. Just say it's a different
but
Jedi.
not that Shaggy.
No, a different Shaggy.
The wasn't me guy.
yeah.
Because it's 1999.
And
Oh, yeah, that's
General
right.
Grievous didn't kill this Shaggy.
Who was the guy that sang Mambo Number 5? Lou Bega.
Yeah.
It was Lou Bega.
Mambo number.
Oh, this is all our now collective
bit of
collective
Anakin
change to
in my
Phantom
life.
Menace right here. We just did it right there.
Little bit of Padme by my side.
Brad, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is from The Last Jedi, and it's a very simple request, and I think everyone would agree with me. Remove Canto Bight from the fucking movie. It's pointless. It adds nothing. It could have been done in any other circumstances. It's not necessary. They don't use the environment enough for it to be interesting. They use it for like the what are those little fucking things? Not the
Father ears.
Father ears. That's okay, but even those are kind of fucking stupid. It all ends up not being necessary to the plot anyway. Because they don't, I mean, they get DJ, I guess, but like you could have done that anywhere. You could have had that argument, on any planet. It didn't have to be that. It's just boring to me, and it's the only part of The Last Jedi that I do not thoroughly enjoy, and it's too long. It takes too
Same.
much time.
My number 8's Last Jedi as well. But it's not that.
What is it?
I just want a better Phasma kill.
Oh,
Better
God.
Phasma kill.
I
A little bit
debated
more
on that one.
satisfying.
Now, see,
Phasma
I've
kill.
been saying
Have you seen the deleted scene?
So
yes,
much better.
I
That's
want it.
way better.
I know it's way better, but give me something better.
Even better than that?
Finn deserves like a little bit like a greater redemption.
I
Yeah,
could not
if
agree
you're gonna
more.
kill Phasma, I'm with you. But
Yeah.
I've been saying for years, write a comic that says she's alive, so you can put her in Galaxy's Edge.
I don't understand why she's not in 9.
Right there,
It
yeah.
seems crazy to me that you couldn't have
Well,
brought her
because
back.
9 already had way too much crap going on.
You could have replaced, like, even if she was just like in the background, like escorting Hux, just to have her around. Like, oh shit, she's around.
Yeah.
Then it opens up the possibility for whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
What's number 7, Evan?
Number 7 is from The Force Awakens. Just actually have the Knights of Ren do something. So when they show up in Episode 9, it makes more sense to be like, oh, they are around, they're still doing stuff. So just have Kylo do something with the Knights of Ren that shows that they exist. And
I
like,
forgot the Knights of Ren were episode 9. I haven't watched the movie in so long.
Oh, that's
I
one of the
forgot
best
they're at the
parts.
end. Yeah, it is.
But like they're in that like weird Force connection for like not even 5 seconds with Rey and Kylo. But like, no, have a real scene where it's
Yeah.
not a Force vision thing, where it's actually them doing something with Kylo there, and like that establishes them going forward.
I agree.
What's your
You
number? Yeah. I'm just trying to hear if Winston's barking.
Where are we at? Number 8? Is that where we're at? No,
No,
number
no,
7.
number
Number
7,
7.
yeah.
This is a gripe I've had about this sequel trilogy since day one. Well, since day one of seeing The Last Jedi.
Uh-huh.
The Force Awakens should not end the way it ends. The Force Awakens should end with Luke tossing the lightsaber over his back and it fades to credits. Because you can then jump the next scene that they filmed in that movie for that character would be way more compelling. It wouldn't just be you get his intent in The Force Awakens that he's done training, and then you can do a time jump and show Rey training with him for years. So it is way more
Yes.
believable that she is that strong in the Force, because if you're learning from Luke Skywalker, even though he cut himself off from the Force at this point, he's still Luke Skywalker.
And he's
Sure.
still got the texts,
He's still got the sacred text.
Jedi.
and he's still on Ahch-To with the first temple.
Yep.
Like all this stuff behind him, backing him
It
up.
makes way more sense to do a time jump. And then you also not only just get the time jump, you then have all that canon you can play around with and make content around.
And-
It is baffling to me. I know it's because it's J.J. Abrams, but it is fucking baffling to me that's how they ended The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Especially when you see the entire sequel trilogy. In the moment, the first time you watched it, you're like, fuck! And it was like perfect.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they did it.
It still would have been perfect if you see him
Story-wise.
throw it. You'd be like, wait, throw it. What's happening?
Wait, why?
And then
Why did he
ends.
throw it? What
It's
happened?
still a cliffhanger
There was-
either way.
Exactly.
Like,
Right.
And it just would have made
would've been
way
good.
more sense.
Uh-huh.
There wouldn't have been because like my biggest thing is then you would then because I remember like going into The Last Jedi being like, so what's his thing? Is he just not doing it? Because like he says he's going to train her. Like in the trailer, you don't know what's that time for the Jedi and what the fuck's going on. You would have known instantly. Fuck this, I'm out.
Yep.
And
I'm
like
with
you
you.
said,
I like
that
that.
time gap in
I
there
just-
helps.
time gap
'cause
makes everything
like,
better.
Yeah, like we
It
said
makes
earlier, we have 30
everything
years
better.
of Empire, but we only have
That's
2,
true.
3 years
Because
of
I
see
do
what
think
they
it's a
were.
valid complaint. Even we find out she's Palpatine, that's why. But whatever. It is a valid complaint that Rey didn't train long enough to become a Jedi. I have comments on that coming up on another one, but it is a fair criticism, and I think
Same with Luke, though.
I was gonna
Luke
say
didn't have that long.
The
Luke
criticism
Luke is more fair to complain about him.
Yeah.
I have thoughts on that, and we'll get to it shortly. But I agree, but you'll see why. But
No.
I just think it's a fair comparison or a fair complaint, especially if you apply it to Luke as well.
Let me take it to the prequels then for my number 7, Revenge of the Sith. I would want more Padme trying to quote-unquote save Anakin because she just has a feeling. Now, we know Padme's not Force-sensitive, but what if they insinuated that her unborn 2 Force-sensitive children were giving off weird vibes to her that she had to keep checking on Anakin?
I
Yeah,
like that.
You could do that, but also
I mean,
like
maybe not
a married
on the nose. But
yeah, but also like a married couple would know if their significant other
Sure,
is being
absolutely.
weird. Like if Taylor was started,
But we're talking about
like
Star Wars here.
killing people and whatnot, I'd be like, okay, something's going on with her. Like so.
That would be your reaction?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Something's going on with her.
Yeah.
Something's
She's
up,
murdered
guys.
like 8 people.
Yeah.
Guys, what's going
I
on?
go to the Family Guy Star Wars where freaking he's Han, he shoots the worm like 5 times. Like something's not
going on
right.
here.
Wait a
Wait a
second.
second.
Hold
Wait a
on a
second.
minute. Hold the phone. That'd be me.
All right. Evan, what's your number 6?
Number 6 for Return of the Jedi, is you just throw in Allegiant General Pride somewhere. So
Agreed.
it connects
Oh,
to
sure.
episode
Sure,
9
sure.
when he's like, as I served you in the old
The old
war,
wars,
which I never was seen in, but I was there, I promise.
I mean, to be fair, there are how many? It's a huge empire. I mean,
Right, but
you
like,
make it a big character.
You make it a big
so
deal.
You have to
yeah.
make it.
Like you said with the
address it.
Beckett reveal, which
Yeah.
wasn't a reveal. They make it a big deal to say I was there.
you gotta
It's
pay
like,
it off.
so why didn't we see you if you're a big deal? Like
This would be very controversial if they ever did this, but I fucking wish Disney would do a special edition that ties all this shit in more.
I don't because
You
I don't
don't?
like the special edition.
I don't either, but
So-
like if you just made small changes
That's what
like
the
this,
movies are, or the TV shows are for.
but if you just made a small scene like this and put it in, like you said, in Return of the what the fuck?
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the
Return of
Jedi.
the Jedi. What's your number 7 or 6, Brad?
My number 6 is for Return of the Jedi as well, and it's a very simple request. God damn it, take that fucking stupid music scene out of that movie. I fucking
That is the special edition. So in my mind, it's not there. So
that's the canon
but
one,
it
dude.
is.
I know it
It's
ain't.
the canon one.
It is.
Don't
but it's
be
not.
like that.
It's either way you're being like that. Either way.
I want it gone from canon.
Yeah.
That's all. That's my. That's it. I love the movie so much. There's really not much I can complain about and want to fix. 'Cause I think the movie's pretty damn good. It's my favorite Star Wars movie. I just like it. It's not bad. It's fucking reprehensible that's in that fucking movie.
And it wastes 5 minutes of your time. You're like, what does this have to do with anything?
His fucking tonsils are moving and shit. Like,
They do a
it's
close
just,
up of his
what
mouth.
The
I know,
Fuck
I
were
know.
you
I'm with you.
thinking?
It's
like I
it's
cannot
fucked. It's
believe
stupid.
that he was like, I have an idea, and that was
Put
the
a
idea.
singing slug in it.
And then they were like, all right, let's make that idea. And then he
do it.
saw it and was like, that's exactly what I was thinking. That
Nailed
makes me
it.
fucking mad.
Hold on, fam. I got you.
I fucking hate it so much.
All right. Speaking of hate, back to the prequels we go for my number 6, Attack of the Clones. You know what always has bothered me in Attack of the Clones, especially with Anakin? He's Anakin Skywalker. He turns into Darth Vader. His lightsaber should be like the most important thing in Star Wars. He's too fucking clumsy with it in this movie.
Because he's fucking
What-
stupid. He's a kid. He's an idiot.
Yeah, I know, but this is Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. I hold more merit to that lightsaber. Of course, you know the Garflex is one of my favorite.
Me too.
But I feel like it would have held more weight if that was like the one he got from the get go.
Yeah. I agree with you because like it's supposed to be important to Jedi in the first place,
Right.
But I think it just shows that he's like they're almost trying to like undersell. I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're trying to justify it, though. Like, devil's advocate.
It's not even devil's advocate. Well, I guess it is.
They showed that with the horny teen towards Padme in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's just to me. It's like they're just showing he's kind of like not the guy he turns into.
And they make
Sure.
a point for Obi-Wan to like
It's
3
not
separate times be like,
the
Anakin, this
way
weapon is your
it
life. I've told you not to lose it
Yeah.
3 times. It's like,
I'm sorry,
okay.
Master.
Yeah.
So are you
Good
saying,
take.
Are you saying he's half the man he used to be?
Well, I'm half the man because my legs.
No, that would be Darth Maul.
Help me, Obi-Wan.
My knees are gone.
Doesn't
Fuck you,
Ahsoka make a joke
Obi-Wan.
like that to Maul at one point? He's like, "You're half the Jedi Anakin is, or half the
I
Force user."
think so.
She says something like that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty
man.
great.
Evan, what's your 5?
Pretty great.
So we're halfway. We got to
From Empire Strikes Back, just another connection to the sequels here. Throw in somewhere.
I don't know why I did that.
His fart sounded the greatest Star Wars.
I know, right? I take
that
that
one.
back.
I don't know.
I take that back.
Throw in somewhere where maybe Palpatine's calling Vader on the hologram there. But just throw in somewhere that he's on Exegol, so it connects to
Sure.
the sequels. That's it. You don't need to like show it, make a whole deal in a scene. Just be
Just
like,
make it a hologram. You say hologram?
yeah, be like,
Make it a hologram.
one of the Piet or someone comes up to Vader and is like, "Sir, my lord, the Emperor is calling you from Exegol." That's it.
Can you confirm this is the path to Exegol? Like that, something like that.
Yeah,
Just-
because
yeah,
I
confirm
could
this
be
way,
wrong.
find it.
I forget where in the comics Vader goes to
Wayfinder
Exegol, so he
still
does
pisses
know
me off.
about Exegol. I just don't know when, if he knows about it during Empire.
It's
or
in the
not,
Vader,
but
the second Vader run.
yeah, I forget where it is, but he knows about it. So at this point, he knows, and they say, "Hey, the Emperor's calling you from Exegol."
Okay.
I wonder how that would have all played out if Vader had won. Like I'm telling you, man, I would love a what if Star Wars series. I know that's
No.
popping
I
around.
hate it.
You wouldn't be curious to see how it plays
No.
out?
'Cause it's
Curious.
not
I
real.
just- I don't know.
Who cares?
You
It's
got
interesting.
Visions. Go watch that crap.
No, that's not interesting at all. This would
It's
be
the same.
interesting
It's just
if
like
they did a
things
what
that don't
if Star
exist.
Wars. But why would you care? Just because it's not canon, you wouldn't watch it?
Yep.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I would watch it. It's interesting. I watched first series of Visions. If I don't like it, I don't like it.
I think what if would be so because like you could clearly see the headcanon things. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this would be cool to
I
see.
get it. I get it.
I get why you wouldn't, but I think I think it would be very interesting to see it.
What's your 5? I'm interested to hear that.
My number 5 is I want a clear explanation of the time jump.
Yeah.
Was he there a week? Luke
Oh,
on Dagobah?
Sure.
Were they gone 6 months? Was he gone a year, but they were doing shit you didn't see on screen? It seems like he shows up, he has lunch, he trains for an hour, and then all of a sudden he's a Jedi Master.
Yeah.
The lunch was good.
And if that's the case,
It was
then
all you can eat
no
buffet.
one-
It took like 5 years.
if that's the case, then no one can complain about Rey. I'm sorry.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You can't. You can't be upset. She technically, even though it's a character, then they could have written it to be anything they wanted it to be, but she's a Palpatine, and that's way more evil and dark. You know, it was able to, and they address that in the Last Jedi. You went straight to the dark. Like they address all that shit. There's no weirdness there.
Right.
So if you're gonna complain about Rey, you got to complain about Luke. And
Yeah.
if you don't
And
want to,
people don't.
if you don't want to complain, then give me an explanation. The Last Jedi at least gave us an explanation. It was right there in the moment. She was there for about a few days, right? Like we know that's what
Right.
it is. It's way more clear cut.
Yeah.
Like the shit that Han and Leia were doing seemed like it took a while.
Well, it's because
Yeah.
they put like a time to Finn and Rose's thing. They're like, you got 18 hours or whatever. It's
Exactly.
like, well, now we know
Now we know
that
exactly.
she's on Octo for like 18 hours.
Right.
Because
So, like,
she meets up at the same. It's all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
We don't know. I mean, we assume that's what's happening with this.
they never say, okay,
And
we got
Luke
18
even
hours to
gets
get the best
jacked.
pin. Like,
Luke
Yeah.
gets jacked, so it
Yeah.
has to be a time jump.
Yeah.
So what's the
It
time
is.
jump?
It
Is
is.
it 6 months?
space roids.
Space roids.
Didn't think about
Gene
it.
splicing.
Back to
Gotta
injection.
ask-
Gene splicing. Oh, see, I told
Yes,
you.
Agnon about
Told you
that.
those rebels and those resistance people aren't doing the most
But that's always bothered me. I wish they would just clear it up.
gene splicing.
Speaking of
Even
what-
if it's just like
highly
a novelization, just tell me. Just tell me something I can point to and go, okay, 6 months passed.
Give him a what if series. My
give
number
what if
5
series.
is sticks in the sequels, and it's the Rise of Skywalker. I wrote deliberately, give Finn his Force balls back. Give him his Force testicles back. I hate I gotta talk to you, Rey. Look off.
Rey!
And then I gotta talk to you about something.
That's a new force power. Force yelling.
Yeah.
Just screaming at Rey.
Yeah.
The Force like looking off into the distance. Like you couldn't have just like had the Force better? Like I don't know. It just seemed weak and thrown in.
You know what else would have been a really cool moment to confirm his Jedi ability?
Yeah.
If
that
he had
too.
reached out to her on Exegol. And
Yeah.
it was Finn's
Yeah,
voice.
Yeah,
That'd have
dude.
been cool.
Oh, just like tossed in there.
Yeah.
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 Right.
And it adds to the thing you're saying too. Like if
Right.
Luke, that's what it is, and everyone else is whispering like, "These
Yeah.
are your last
We're with
steps."
you.
Right. She'd be like, "Finn,"
I should make an edit.
You should.
I'll do that.
Oh my God, yes.
but like that adds to what you're saying about Luke and Rey. If they trained in a day, what the heck? Why didn't Finn and why couldn't Finn? Like, what are we doing?
He was
Hopefully-
nice with the lightsaber too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, in the novel, and you can kind of tell in the movie too, Kylo's fucking with him.
And Kylo got shot
Until-
with a bowcaster, and
yeah.
like, yeah.
But you can tell he's because he's like at one point he moves
He
his head out of the way. He
spins.
spins lightsaber. He's like,
Yeah.
all right, bitch,
Yeah.
hate crime,
I
hate
love
crime,
that.
hate crime.
Evan, what's your 4? Let's get away from that.
But yeah,
I had to do it.
Hopefully, in the Rey movies, we get Finn being a
More
Jedi.
hate crimes?
No, less, much less.
Less hate crimes. So you want hate crimes?
No, much less.
I
as
wanna-
in -5 hate crimes. I want
wanted a
negative
specific number of hate crimes
Zero.
between 0 and 1.
half. What is
Have
my number
to be
4?
mixed.
Number 4. Okay, my number 4 for
It have to be what? What you said?
Mixed. The hate crime is not a mixed person. It's like half a hate crime.
Lando's daughter. She's not. All,
my number 4 is from A New Hope. I would just love to see Coruscant, because if you are watching the Easy Watch Revenge of the Sith, you see Coruscant, but it's all like you see it through all the stages there. Go to episode 4, just see Coruscant, see how it's taken over by the Empire. Like we're seeing in the Bad Batch, like we saw in Survivor, like we're seeing in all these in Andor, we're seeing in all these new things. So like let's see the Imperial Coruscant in the movie though, especially in that time. It'd be cool.
I would love to see that.
Yeah,
I would love. See, that's why a special edition would be dope. You could add stuff like that in.
Mm-hmm.
They kind
because
of did.
the special edition of episode
Yeah.
6, Return of the Jedi,
Yeah,
they
they
do at
show
the
it,
end. They show all
which is
those
cool.
celebrations, but that's not like occupied by
Yeah.
the Empire Coruscant.
Yeah.
That's
That would
true.
be interesting. I would love to see that.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is. This is probably the most underwhelming one on my list, but it's always bothered me because it looks so bad. I was debating on doing like cutting out some of the walking in the desert with R2 and C-3PO because that goes on for quite a bit and it's just not necessary.
And Lord of the Rings for a while, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it does. You don't even see Obi-Wan until like 50 minutes into the movie,
Yeah.
and then it moves really quick.
Hello
after
there.
that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not quite that long, but it's long.
Yeah, they don't get to the cantina till like almost 50 minutes in.
Yeah.
So it's a little sooner for Obi-Wan. But yeah.
But it just takes so long to get to him. It's fine. But there is a scene when you finally get to meet Obi-Wan and you get the lightsaber, and it's the scene where Luke turns it on for the first time is
Yeah.
the worst.
so
edit.
janky.
And
Oh.
have you ever
Yeah.
noticed it? I fucking hate it.
It's like he's holding
Like,
it here and then
you
like
had the special editions.
I
You
know.
didn't
Okay.
fix it then?
You're fine.
You didn't fix that then? That's one of the worst scenes of that movie. It's literally like we could do it
Yeah,
better.
I know. Yeah.
Like I know it's just at the time and that kind of stuff, and then like the lightsaber doesn't turn on like a lightsaber does, like how we know it now. It's just like all of a sudden it's like ping.
Yeah.
It's like instantly on.
the
It's like a
blade
light
is all of a
switch.
sudden there. Yeah. Blade.
I
no
hate
blade.
it. It does more to me to like mess with canon than almost anything in Star Wars because it's just so janky, and it's not how any other lightsaber works at any other point in the entire series.
Yeah.
Well, it's because Luke was so strong with the Force that
Yeah,
it didn't need to like ignite. It just popped that. It was
Sure.
there. Yeah, that's what it is.
Took a boner pill for his lightsaber, just
Yep.
popped out.
Yep.
Well, my number 4, speaking of boner pills, in A New Hope, I just want more Luke struggling with the Force, like using the Force. More of it. Just more of it.
Yeah, we got the one shot.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. That's all. Evan, what's
Yeah.
number 3?
Number 3 for Revenge of the Sith. Let's get a scene where they storm the temple. We've got all that awesome badassery and with the music and all that, but let's get a scene where they go and they find the temple guardians, the guards, and we see one of them converted to become the Grand Inquisitor.
Ooh.
It's going to connect Rebels and Kenobi and Jedi Survivor Fallen Order. It's going to connect so many things
Hell
just
yeah.
to see the birth of the Inquisitorius.
I like it.
I dig it.
Mine for number 3, which is also Revenge of the Sith, is kind of a two-pronged one. I want Padme's death to be more impactful and for a fucking legitimate reason. She lost the will to live. You're a dad. I know she had a rough go, but that's a reason to fucking live. Is your
Yeah, I
kids?
know.
Like
Yeah.
it's just the dumbest. I got into a. You guys know me. I get into yelling matches all the time. I got to a screaming match at Trader Sam's the night before Celebration with a woman about this. We were talking about like dumb moments of Star Wars, and I was like, she is such a badass the entire fucking time she's on screen, and then she's just like, I give up. It doesn't make any sense. I know
It took a lot out of her to be a badass.
I also want
She was tired.
Kylo. I want Vader to be the one who actually killed her.
Oh, sure.
He thinks he did, but we know that's not kind of how it went down.
You know
I
what's
want
funny?
him to have actually, in his
I always
rage-
thought he did.
Did you?
Yeah. I always thought like the choke just kind of centered down a path.
But even
of
that
no-
was
of
just
no coming
like
back.
kind of fucking weak.
But-
He should have
but
like
that was Darth
crunched
Vader.
Should have broke her fucking neck like he did that kid in that village.
Jesus.
And in his anger, he's turning into Vader.
Yeah.
Let's fucking turn.
Because in that
Turn,
second,
dude,
in
go.
that moment, he's like, "You turned her against me."
Exactly.
Like
And then
he thinks Padme is against him.
And if he'd have killed her, he would have seen it, and it would have just set him off even more. That's something I wish they would have just. I know it's tough because, but they fucking broke that kid's neck, dog. We can choke Natalie Portman. We all want to.
I do
move
not
on.
know. I do
Shut
not
up.
want to. I don't. I don't. My number 3 is in The Empire Strikes Back. How fucking cool would it be just to show Vader kill the Wampa?
Yeah,
On
I
Hoth.
thought about
Yeah,
that.
Just
that would have been sick.
like how evil would it be? That
Especially
be like
because you've
badass?
shown how terrible it is already,
Yes.
and then you show him, it's like no big deal.
Yeah, and it's like Luke spares him just by cutting his arm off because Luke could have gone back and ended the threat. But just like Vader doing it would have aided to so much more evil.
Have you ever seen the deleted scene of
Yeah.
C-3PO?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
That would be cool if Vader walked in there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just ripped that motherfucker apart with the Force. That would have been sick.
Evan, what's your number 2?
Number 2 is from Attack of the Clones. My favorite bit in all of just Star Wars fandom is how there's this giant convoluted plot to assassinate Padme. Okay? It's Palpatine sends Dooku, who sends Jango Fett, who sends Zam Wessel, who sends a droid, who sends little robot snake guy or little bug snake guys to kill Padme. It's like, why are 18 people going? Why couldn't it just be Dooku? Or okay, maybe Dooku doesn't want to reveal it's him, so just go one step Jango. Jango's a badass assassin.
It's
We don't
outsourcing.
need to do you sends you sends you sends you sends you. Just that. Just make it Jango. We don't need.
They got to outsource it. Sam Wessel's an Indian. Works in IT.
I have no idea. It just didn't make sense to me, and it takes up way too much of the plot.
Yeah, it
and
does.
it takes like 15 minutes. I don't know. I haven't watched it for a while. Maybe it's
Jango-
only like 5 minutes, but it feels like it's like 15, 20 minutes of just nothing happening.
The first part of that movie is that chase scene at the beginning, and that kind of happens pretty quickly afterwards. After she sees him as an
The
adult, which
chase scene
creepy.
is part of it.
Anakin got groomed, guys.
Yeah, totally.
Chase is the
chase scene is part of it,
that.
but they're chasing down Sam Wessel.
Oh, yeah,
and
you're
then
right.
Django, who could have just shot Anakin or Obi-Wan,
Oh, yeah,
shoots
that's-
Sam Wessel instead. Like, what are you doing? That makes no sense.
Yeah,
Like,
I think she was about to tell him who. She was about to tell him who hired her.
Yeah.
but
So that's
She
why.
was
but
gonna,
like
but, like,
also just
what if you
make
just
it
killed
Jango
them
Fett
instead?
and he gets away.
yeah.
It makes Jango Fett more like a badass who you believe he's trying to
Mysterious,
kill
yeah.
and like important.
And maybe you can still use the poison dart. Maybe that's what he was going to shoot Padme with.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan picks it up and is like, "Oh, I'm going to take this to Dex. Dex
Exactly.
knows what this is." And then
And
like
it-
you
that
still
it-
get Dex, you
and
still
it
get
still
Obi-Wan,
comes from Camino.
you still go to Camino.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't change anything.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just we don't
dumb.
need 18
That's fair.
steps.
I
It's
I
just
could not agree
ridiculous.
with you more. I know we've talked about that before, but it's just so funny when you actually contextualize like Palpatine sent Dooku.
I basically quoted him. I forget the dude on YouTube who that was almost word for word how he goes, Dooku sends this guy, sends this guy, sends this guy,
That sends a droid that sends bugs.
sends bugs. I hate it so much.
Yeah, it's stupid. I've thought about it, obviously, but that's what's one of the ones. Mine's a little more.
What's your 2?
My number 2 is a little more simplistic. I just want their relationship to make sense. Anakin and Padme's.
You just
There's
did.
no reason.
You said she groomed him. You did make it make sense.
Well, that's creepy. There's no reason why a fucking senator would like this dipshit. He is so not charming to her. I'm strictly talking about their relationship. I love him as Anakin. He's fine. But they don't ever seem like they're in love. They seem like two people who are just like, I guess we like each other. They don't ever seem like they are into each other, really. Even if the times he talks to her, like rubs her shoulder, you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Sure.
You being like they didn't. It basically comes down to they didn't seem comfortable together on set.
Okay.
You can totally tell.
Yeah,
You can totally
different
tell.
chemistry. Maybe.
Yep, 100%. And that's something you should have screen tested. I'm sure they did, but
Yeah.
not every decision George Lucas makes is the right decision. Star Wars dorks. That's a bad one, and I feel like there is no reason for her to like him. We get why he likes her. He's a horny 18-year-old, whatever the fuck year old kid, 20. How old is he in this movie?
He's 19 in Attack of the Clones, I think.
And she's got her back
Something
out
like that, yeah.
in the Senate chamber. Okay, we get it. She's a piece. He's a fucking creep. It's fine. She's a creep for grooming him too.
She was probably also the first woman that ever really talked to him on Tatooine. Like,
So that's his dead mom.
yeah. And the one that says, "The storm's coming, Annie. Better get home quick."
Yeah.
Yippee!
That's what he says. My number 2 is Return
Fucking
of the
hate
Jedi.
their relationship. I'm sorry.
I
Fucking
know,
hate
I
it.
get it. I would want and I guess just take this out of Princess and the Scoundrel.
Can I go back 1 second?
Sure.
I need to preface. I don't hate their relationship. I like their relationship. I hate how it's portrayed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks for clearing that up.
Yep.
Try the veal. I would want Leia to join the
Nachos?
funeral pyre in Return of the Jedi, just like she did on Princess and the Scoundrel. Take that out of the book.
I thought she
Put
was
it in
there.
the movie.
She's not in at the
Nope.
end of it?
No,
No.
it's always been just
Oh,
Luke.
it's just Luke. You're talking about, oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking of
Yeah.
the celebration at the end. She's there for that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
But
Yeah, and then she gets
should have
married
joined him.
promptly after.
She should have joined him. While her father's corpse is burning.
Yeah, but after she
I
got
do.
married, she got pulled over to it. So, Evan,
Yeah.
give us your number one.
Number one, from the Phantom Menace, it's probably nothing as big or consequential as any of these other changes, but just have some hint in there that maybe like Zabraks have some special way of living after they're chopped in half or something, aside from just hate. Because like hint ahead of time that Maul's gonna live, because like we love
sure.
Maul. He's a badass character. He's great in the Clone Wars, but like it just he's back. We see that he survives and goes to the junk planet, and his hate fueled him to live and survive, but just have it hinted more where Palpatine's like, yeah, when your brother or whatever, your father was killed on Dathomir, he was hard to kill because of his revenge or something. I don't know. I'm not a good writer. I can't write dialogue. Neither can George Lucas. But just make something up and just have a little
Can't
bit of
do worse
hints
than-
of what's going to happen.
I don't like sand. Can't do
But
worse than that.
they,
course,
at the time,
rough.
they didn't know Maul was going to return, but like
Good
I
to
wish
know.
they did know.
Yeah, I wish you would have like maybe cut down to the pit and you see him just survive the fall.
Yeah.
Because like when you're a kid, you're like, oh, he's dead. He got cut in half.
Yeah.
It's
He
confusing.
uses the force
But it's
to
so
stop
weird, like-
himself from falling that hard
yeah,
or something.
something.
Because I watched the Clone Wars, most of it after it came out, and I already knew Maul was alive just by hearing other people talk about
Oh,
it.
sure.
So I was okay with it. So then I watched the episode where he explains it and stuff. I'm like, okay, I already knew he was alive, so it's fine. But like, yeah, as a kid, you see Phantom Menace, Clone Wars didn't exist yet. You're like, oh, he's dead.
This does
course.
not make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
Do we have that drop
Doesn't
still?
make Yes, we do. The drop that he's talking about.
That does not make sense.
Love it.
What's your number one?
My number one, and this is not because he is my favorite Jedi, whose name I've been saying wrong for 25 years.
Kia.
Qui-Gon Jinn. Did I
Ki-Adi
say it
Mundi?
right then? Did I say
Ki-Adi Mundi,
Qui-
that's
Is
your
it
favorite?
Qui-Gon?
That's
Yeah,
how I
Mundi.
say it, but I think you're good. As long
Qui-Gon
as you don't
Jinn.
say Qui-Gon, you're
No,
good.
Qui-Gon Jinn. Fuck you, Kay. I wish he didn't die in the Phantom Menace. Not because I want him just around and alive. It would have been fascinating to see him watch Anakin fall. He's the one that put his neck out there for him. He's the one that did all this shit to get him there in the first place because he believed he was the chosen one. And
For
it
sure.
would have been incredible for him and Obi-Wan to like have conversations about it. Like, trust me. And then when the fall ultimately happens, like it would wreck him. And even let Anakin kill Qui-Gon. I don't give a shit. Like that would have been interesting.
that
Like
would've
the
been
person
good
who
for the
saved you
character.
and brought you from the depths of slavery, literally, you kill because you've gone that fucking bad.
It would have been crazy to see.
Their relationship would have been cool, seeing their relationship
And
grow.
maybe
and-
a reason he goes to kill him is Qui-Gon goes to join Dooku, because I think he really would have left
Oh,
the
absolutely.
council and found Dooku.
That's a cool plot line.
Yeah.
There is so much more cool stuff they could have done with that character because he is such an interesting character.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not because he's my favorite. I think him staying alive would have been way more interesting
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they weren't that close. You know what I mean? Like Anakin
Right.
and him at that point weren't that close. So if you
Right.
build that relationship over 15 years, whatever it is, from that point
Right.
when he's full on Vader, that would have been interesting.
Right. Well,
See, what if? Let's go.
my number one is simple from The Force Awakens. Is a story for another time. Nope. Right now sounds
Yep.
good. Let us know, Maz. Come on.
Because they never explained it
it's
in
in
the
the
movies.
comics, but yeah,
It
put
isn't.
it in the movie. You're right.
Isn't. That's one of the stupidest things. People are not going to know to go find it out.
Yep.
Like, and it's really just like some Mugnots found it.
Yeah, that's
like
it.
my like backstory for Lives of Ryan put more effort into that story than
100%.
J.J. Abrams and Star Wars did.
Yep.
So
Well, the thing about JJ that drives me nuts, and I love his movies. Like, what is? Why can't I think of anything today? What is the monster movie he did?
J.J. Abrams.
Yes, the one's like Godzilla, Cloverfield. Jesus
oh
Christ.
yeah, Cloverfield. for
Like
sure.
that movie.
I like
I love
Cloverfield.
all of his movies, but he does this thing where he just likes to. Oh, I guess you'll never know.
Oh, yeah.
fuck face. Tell
Yeah.
me, I'm watching the fucking movie.
Yeah, like I paid $20
Now,
to be here.
If
I need to know.
If I'm gonna see it down the line, fine. Which I think we all kind of thought we would get that down the line.
I
because
certainly
it was
did.
such a major part of the movie.
Yeah.
Like Luke was going to explain it
Yeah.
to her or somebody. Like, yeah.
And I hate when movies do that shit and just feel like, maybe you'll see. Wink. Fuck you.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
But we have 40 minutes of goddamn Rathars rolling around. Like, fuck you.
We do.
I fucking hate that part of the movie.
Yeah, Wrath Stars.
I'm surprised we had no crossover, guys.
Me too. I definitely expected at least
That's nuts.
the Ben Solo Force Ghost to be a crossover.
Nope.
No, I wanted to be evil the whole time, dude. I want
That would've been cool,
fucking
too.
Sith Kylo Ren. Come on,
Yeah.
he's on Exegol, feeling the power from the fucking Emperor. Let's go. The Emperor knights him as a Sith, the first Sith since Vader. Let's fucking go, dude.
That would have been cool.
Come on.
And then he kills Palpatine.
How do you not think of this? How did I think of this? Disney, come the fuck on.
You could have the Knights of Ren
You
still
know
being
what?
around, being the new Inquisitors.
Make the sequels not canon. Let's do them over. Let's run it back.
Hey, now.
Boo.
Get out of here.
Hire the same people. Just make the stories better.
Nope. No remakes. No
Keep
remakes.
Last Jedi the same, but redo the Force Awakens.
Really, Brad?
At least redo Rise of Skywalker, for fuck's sake.
He needs some milk.
You need some milk
I guess so.
after that.
All right, that was fun. I liked getting back to the top 10 episodes.
That was
These
cool.
were fun.
Yeah,
Especially when
missed
there's
it.
not shit to talk about.
Nope. 2 small news stories. Tiny news stories.
How do I have 26 messages?
I don't know. Well, take us on, Brad, so we can go to sleep.
After you read your 26
Yeah.
messages.
Sorry,
Yeah,
it's
read-
it's
No,
kid
I'm just,
stuff.
no,
It's
you're
kid
good.
stuff.
I was just kidding. You're good.
Thank you guys. We're done. Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys in the next show. Until this day, safe. May the force be with you.
Always and Buite.
Rise, Jedi Knight.